win a series, win the week. In other words, steady as she goes.
We're coming your way from Pittsburgh, where tonight the National League presents the Milwaukee Brewers against the Pittsburgh Pirates, the corner of North Shore Drive and Mazeroski Way, and it is Pup Night. Well, it's not quite the dog days yet, and that's a good thing because the Pirates still have time to make up ground in the Central, and they are doing just that as they have won 4 of their last 5 of their last 8. You can see them now 6 back of the first place Brewers in the Central. Greg Brown along with Bob Walk and Robbie Smikowski. And Bob, last night, a really well-played game. Even the players were mentioning that 1-0 final, maybe their best so far. And it all starts, of course, with the pitching. And they got good starting pitching again last night.
Yeah, that's what it all starts with all the time, year after year. But last night especially, anytime you get a start like that and you win 1-0, everybody's going to feel great. 9 shutouts from this pitching staff this year. That's pretty amazing. If they can keep this pace going, this team can stay above 500 and may challenge, for at least a wild card at the end of things, because it is all about pitching, and especially when you're strong against your own division the way these guys have been. You look at that 235 opposition batting average against the NL Central. That's pretty good.
Trevor Williams started last night, and the Pirates got the shutout. Jamison Tyone tonight, he's so critical to the starting rotation.
Yeah, I mean, he's the guy that before the season everybody thought was going to be the ace, really kind of take over the mantle from Cole, be that strong guy that stops losing streaks, that sort of thing. It hasn't been that easy for him yet, but that last start he looked outstanding. Maybe that will get him on a little bit of a roll. Another good start tonight would do wonders for this club.
He is on the mound tonight as the Pirates look to make it 2 straight over the Brewers and keep a good thing going from PNC Park. Coming up next.
Show your military appreciation and use hashtag HatsOffForHeroes. T-Mobile will donate $1 for each post. And by the law firm of Bordas & Bordas. Bordas & Bordas, fighting for justice. Let's go Bucks!
Jameson Taillon takes the hill for the Pirates. Looking for his 5th win, get back to 500 personally, and get the Pirates over 500 as a team. They're now 36-36. Taillon makes his 8th career start against the Milwaukee Brewers, coming off a win and a strong performance against the Diamondbacks on the road 6 days ago. A well-played game last night, all facets, and some of the players talked about it. Josh Harrison made a spectacular play. You saw it as we were presenting the billboards coming into this contest tonight. That play he made off the Eric Sogard deflected ball that hit off of Kyle Crick's glove, and then in midair, that beautiful throw to first base. Trevor Williams on your left, 7 strong, and then Crick and Felipe finished off the 2-hit 1-0 shutout. Check out the Milwaukee Brewers starting lineup against Taillon. I'm going to watch in particular Hernan Perez, but first it's Lorenzo Cain, Christian Yelich, Jesus Aguilar, and then it's Eric Thames hitting cleanup and in right field. Perez, see the numbers against Taillon, 6 out of 15 with 3 homers. Jonathan Villar, Manny Pena, Orlando Arcia, and Freddie Peralta. Starting 9 for Milwaukee.
And it's a quick look at Taillon's numbers on the year. It's got that ERA back under 4 now. And hopefully he'll keep it in that range the rest of the season.
Underway with a strike against Lorenzo Cain. His second start this season against the Brewers.
Swings hard, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Which in mind of Javi Baez.
Or their last center fielder.
Yeah, that's a good call. Carlos Gomez. 1-2 on Cain. Taillon in his first start against the Brewers on May the 5th, a no decision. Gave up 1 run, 6 hits in 5 innings. Two and 2. He is 1-3 lifetime in 7 career starts against the Brewers. 3.47 ERA, and that the line there. That game in Milwaukee. And after jumping out in front, it's now full at 3-2. Brewers 42 wins, 30 losses. The Cubs lost a heartbreaker earlier today, part of a day-night doubleheader with the Dodgers. So right now, Milwaukee a half game up. Tapper, Taillon going to have to hurry, or Cervelli, and impossible play. Almost got him.
A very difficult play, obviously, with a guy that can run like Cain, and Cervelli did everything he could. Reminded me a little bit of the play you were just talking about with Jehey last night, where you're practically horizontal in the air as you're trying to make that throw. Did a good job with it. I mean, what else are you going to do? Heck of a try.
Yeah, it really was. Hunter Wendelstedt, the safe call at first base.
One thing also in Cain's favor, that was one time he didn't take that big hard swing. So he wasn't falling backwards. He was actually a real short, just a chop swing, which gave him momentum heading toward first right from the very beginning.
The Brewers will run. Cain has 15 steals and 18 tries. And over the years, the opponents have been able to run on Taillon. Yelich out of play. He was 1 for 4 last night in his first year with the Brewers. Acquired this winter. Milwaukee sent 4 minor leaguers to Miami to get him. Up. Evens things up against Yelich. It's Craig Counsell's club. Surprised a whole bunch of people last year. Eliminated the second to last day of the season from playoff contention. And Taillon out in front of a second straight hitter. 1-2. Yelich is 4 out of 15 this season against Pirates pitching. Loves hitting here at PNC Park over the years. .343 average in this ballpark. Good work there to get Yelich. But that runner at first base strikes him out, one away.
It was the slider, wasn't it?
I think so. That weapon.
Ever since he started throwing it, it's been a very important pitch for him. Yep. See the spin. Just breaks like a fastball that he's cut off the side, which is really what a slider is when it's all said and done. You're cutting down the side of the ball, but you're not turning your wrist so far that the ball's coming up over the top of your fingers. So you can still get some velocity. You're pushing the ball forward, but not the perfect backspin.
Big cut there from Aguilar. Pinch hitter last night and grounded out. See the 13 home runs coming since April the 19th. He's hit a bunch of homers since the third week of the season. Gets crowded there from Taillon, 1-1. And they had him leaning.
Yeah, they did.
Boy, Lorenzo Cain looked like he was headed toward second, but Taillon just couldn't get that throw over there quickly enough.
Oh, wow. He really was leaning.
Taillon has not thrown out a runner trying to steal, by the way, or I should say his catchers have not thrown out a runner trying to steal since 2016. 4 for 4 this year, 15 out of 15 last year.
I thought he did a nice job on that last pitch. A little slide step and kind of a quick pitch. Didn't stay in that set position very long at all. Didn't let Cain get all the way out there where he wanted to be. This time he's holding it a little. And that's one of the most important things. Vary the times that you hold the ball. Maybe hold it, 1,001, 1,002, 1,003. Next time, as soon as you come set, go to the plate. Just always something different. Never let that guy leading off first think you're timed.
3-2. "17 walks, 72 strikeouts for Jameson Taillon in 79 innings of work this year. Makes his 15th start as pitching coach Ray Searage looks on. And hit in the air deep to right center. And it is way gone, about 4 rows back for Aguilar, his 14th, and a 2-0 lead for Milwaukee in the first.
Now, early in a game, you kind of think, well, I'm going to take a big piece of the plate here. I don't want to walk him. Maybe create a big inning, with base on balls. So they went after him. It's always a risk, but most of the time, vast majority of the time, you're not going to give up a home run. But went right after almost the middle square. I think he was just trying to throw that slider for a strike. instead of painting it right on the outside corner where you might miss and throw ball 4.
Aguilar mentioned the numbers since April the 19th, leading the league in home runs since that time. Eric Thames 0 for 3 and hit by a pitch last night.
Big home run hitter last season. Or at least early on last season. He was talk of baseball power-wise.
Had a phenomenal month of April. Eric Thames, who spent 3 years in Korea.
31 home runs overall last season.
Another strikeout for Tyone. 2 outs, 2-0 Milwaukee. Check out the Honda defense as Hernan Perez steps to the plate. Starling Marte in center field. He's flanked by Corey Dickerson and Gregory Polanco. Josh Bell and Colin Moran on the corners. Jordy Mercer, Josh Harrison up the middle, and Francisco Cervelli catches Tyone. Austin Meadows misses a second straight start because a foot bruise. Fouled a pitch off his foot the other day. Allegheny Health Network injury update. This is Sunday. It's him off the back toe there, and he said it was swollen, a front foot, foul ball. It was hurting yesterday, but much better today. So he'll be ready if needed. And would figure to be back in the starting lineup tomorrow. That again, the 4-man outfield rotation continues for Pittsburgh. Here is Tyone versus Perez, that matchup.
You would think that Perez would see a lot of sliders tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he really is owned this matchup. So you got a new weapon. You're going to have to use it. Try it out on him. Use it a lot. The old stuff didn't work.
Oh, fastball that could have been called a strike, was not. It's 1-2. Home plate umpire is David Rackley. Hunter Wendelstedt at first with Chris Guccione at second. And over at third base is the crew chief, Larry Vanover. Slap foul out of play. So still out in front of Perez. And this time he gets him. Strikes out the side, but gives up a 2-run homer to Jesus Aguilar. An early deficit. Leading off against the rookie Freddie Peralta. Here's the RAV4 starting lineup for the Pirates tonight. Corey Dickerson next, then Starling Marte. Colin Moran again hits cleanup. Francisco Cervelli is in that 5 spot of the order with Josh Bell hitting 6th. Gregory Polanco, Jordy Mercer, Jameson Taillon. Mercer last 24 games batting .325, and here is the 22-year-old Dominican right-hander Freddie Peralta.
Anxious to see this young man pitch. Had a phenomenal first game. Not so good in game 2, but a lot of strikeouts. A lot of strikeouts in the minor leagues. But according to my cheat sheet, not really a hard thrower at all. But it's the fastball that is his #1 pitch.
And a first pitch, ball 1 to Josh Harrison, 1 out of 4 in last night's ball game. Right there, 1 ball and 1 strike. Jay has a little 4-game hitting streak going. Last 11 games batting over .350. And tied him up, struck him out. Freddie Peralta, whose debut was May the 13th at Coors Field in Denver when he had all those strikeouts, so he really didn't have to use his defense all that often in that start, as he fanned 13 and 5 2/3. Here is the defense behind him tonight. It's Yelich, Kane, and Thames. Eric Thames in right, Hernan Perez, Orlando Arce on the left side, Jonathan Villar, Jesus Aguilar on the right side, and Pena behind the plate. First start in right this season for Thames. Corey Dickerson, 9th in the league in hitting at .303. Hitless in 4 trips in last night's game. So 3rd big league start for Freddie Peralta, with Dickerson at the plate and then Marte on deck. Dickerson 6 homers in 19 career games against the Brewers. Strike. 1 and 2. His debut made the 13th. 5 2/3, 1 hit, no runs against the Rockies. Took a no-hitter into the 6th inning before he gave up a 1-out hit to David Dahl. 6 days later in Minneapolis, went just 4 innings against the Twins, allowed 4 runs on 3 hits. Then he walked 6 in that 2nd start and sent back down to the minor leagues. He made 5 starts at AAA, and back up tonight as Boone Logan was designated for assignment. Two and 2 the count on Dickerson.
Yeah, so far he's what's advertised. Lots of fastballs, nothing overpowering. So we call, I guess, average velocity.
And he gets Dickerson to pop one up on the infield. Easy play for Perez. That debut at Coors Field in Denver, most impressive with all the strikeouts. 4th highest strikeout total in a major league debut for any pitcher in baseball since 1893, not 1993, 1893.
What a smile on his face. And what a thrill that had to be for him. That was the first time his mom and dad ever saw him pitch professionally, was in that game.
At the time, he was just 21 years old. Starling Marte with 2 outs and nobody on. It's just hard, but looks like it's going to stay in the yard as Thames can't handle it. Eric Thames trying to negotiate right field, his first start out there, and he drops it for an error.
Very easy catch. It wasn't like it was up against the fence or anything. It's just on the front edge of that warning track. See where it hits. A hit on the outside part of his glove.
Thames made 3 starts in right field last year, 15 in left. Made some starts in the outfield when he was with the Blue Jays and Mariners prior to his 3-year stint in Korea. We'll see if Colin Moran and the Pirates can take advantage of the miscue.
I've really been warming up to Moran in this cleanup spot. What do you think?
Yeah. Seems to fit him, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I mean, it's not like he's filling the river up with baseballs, but he's getting some good at bats, making good solid contact all the time.
Certainly has the demeanor for it. Doesn't affect, at least you can't tell from his outward appearance whether he's been affected by it. Can't really tell if he's happy, nervous, concerned about it. No, I guess that's perfect.
Well, we've
for
seen
a
guys in the
player.
past that seem to put the weight of the world on their shoulders when they would see the cleanup spot with their name in it, and it's really
all of a sudden they had to become something different.
Yeah, it is no different. It's just a list that shows who you're hitting after and who you're hitting in front of.
So you don't bat out of order.
Yeah,
there has to be an order.
Don't make any more of it than that. That's all it is.
Two and two on him. No, he did not get that call.
Thank you.
Freddie Peralta turned 22 2 weeks ago, originally signed by the Mariners. And David Rackley decides to give it to the grizzled, bearded veteran.
Well, I think the reason he gave it to him was because of
where
the target was and the catcher was. I think that's what happened there. But you're right, the grizzled veteran. Yeah, that's why he did it. He had it going, and I should have just let it go.
Line towards center. And that's going to carry out to Kane. So Peralta able to pick up his right fielder, and it's 2-0 Brewers after 1.
We got to look here at Stephen Brault. He was our national anthem singer before the game tonight. Boy, was he fantastic. He was also our guest on Twitter Tuesday here on AT&T Sportsnet. And Aaron McCloskey asked Stephen Brault if he was going to be nervous about doing that.
Yeah, you know, there's a little stomach butterflies, you know. Nothing crazy, nothing that's debilitating or anything, but I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to have a blast, and I'm really excited.
And boy, did he do a fantastic rendition of the national anthem, Greg. Really, really good to hear him sing. I mean, talk about multi-talented. Imagine just having a voice like that, number one, and number two, being able to play Major League Baseball. What a combination for number 43.
Well, I tell you, you give it a real tip of the cap as his teammates had a lot of fun with him right after it, and he did. He hit a home run with that rendition. And no surprise, he's a talented guy who, of course, went to school at Regis University in Denver, not just for baseball. He could have gone to bigger schools, but because Regis offered music and baseball. Of course, he's a part-time singer in a rock and roll band himself, as Jonathan VR swings and misses 1 and 2.
I like the question about being nervous. I would like to know, though, more nervous singing the national anthem or more nervous jogging in from the bullpen in the 6th inning with a couple of guys on?
Yeah. I don't know if he would admit as much. This ball's bounced to.
It's got to be the singing.
I would think so. He played it cool. Asked him before the game in the clubhouse if he was nervous. A little bit. He had gone to the Pirates last summer and mentioned that he had sung before when he was in the Orioles minor league system at Aberdeen before a game in 2013. In fact, he sang the anthem and God Bless America. And he thought, well, maybe they had forgotten, but this spring training, they asked him if he was serious about it. Yep. And he practiced about a month ago here, early afternoon. Because of that reverb, the singing, even announcing, can be difficult. And you hear your voice about 2 or 3 seconds later, the echo. But it took a lot of guts, I thought, to do that.
That's what I mean about being nervous. I would think that he would be. Now, I know he's had singing experience and he's gotten up on stage and all that kind of stuff, but still, that has to be so much different. A big league stadium, national anthem, or coming in and pitching, and he pitches all the time.
Well, Marte can't make the catch off his glove.
Oh, look at that bounce.
Yeah, bad bounce allows Pena to head to third, as Harrison's throw that way is going to be late. It's going to go as a triple for Manny Pena.
Now, once he didn't catch this ball, I'm thinking, oh, extra bases. I didn't think it would be 3, but I don't know what happened with this ball after it hit off his glove to make it go straight.
Hit his wrist. It didn't hit his glove.
Or his wrist. But it hit something else to make it go straight to the right.
Right, deflected right off the wrist. Almost as, of course, not intentionally swatting it that way.
But that's what turned it into 3 bases, was that bounce.
Now a vicious cut by Orlando Arcia with the infield in. Pena giving it a good look. And then he's going to leg out his first career triple.
Not fast. I don't know, Hank.
Arcia bunts the ball. Cervelli pretends to throw it toward third. .574th major league at bat for Manny Pena in his first career triple.
Not easy to go all the way to third.
Yes, says first base umpire Hunter Wendelstedt, and a big strikeout with 1 away. Taillon gets Arcia and now faces Freddie Peralta.
Nice block. Turn that into an out. The ball gets back by the stones back there. Garcia will take off for first. Good speed. Probably makes it.
First career at bat for Freddie Peralta.
That's why Arcia tried the bunt.
He went 0 for 3 in his
first. Have a lot of confidence of getting the ball put in play.
Sorry,
having a bad year with the bat. Pitcher hit behind him, so thought maybe he could lay down a bunt.
He was
gave that a shot.
He was 0 for 3 in that first game against the Rockies with a couple strikeouts, but he hangs in there. That pitch just did foul it off.
It's been talked that he's going to start losing playing time because he's not hitting.
What? Who's that?
Arcia.
Oh, I thought you said Peralta. I thought you were going to say Freddie Peralta.
No.
I thought that was.
Because he's not hitting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're going to take another game right now.
See what I'm saying? You know what I mean by that.
Yeah.
Nice work, Tyone.
Behind the boat. Everybody having a good time on a beautiful night here in the North Shore. Well, Stephen Brault, you heard from him a moment ago. Another question he was asked was a friend of the show's, the sports judge, asked Stephen Brault, what is your go-to karaoke song?
My go-to karaoke song is anything by Stevie Wonder. I really like My Sharia More. If the mood is a little bit softer, a little bit quieter, I'll go with My Sharia More. And then if it's a little more exciting, I'll go with Superstition or Boogie on Reggae Woman or Signed, Sealed, Delivered, something like that.
And here's a tweet, Point Park University tweet from the Pirates when Squid Brault says you can't be his backup dancers tonight. Look at that mean mugging from Chad Kuhl on the right, Trevor Williams on the left. Do you imagine, Greg and Bob, you go into a bar and you're like, me and my friends, we're going to sing a little karaoke tonight, and in comes Stephen Brault. You end up doing Stevie Wonder with him. What a night that would end up being.
That would be cool. That's on the bucket list. That'd be fun to walk in there and then be a backup dancer for him.
Oh yeah, especially if those two guys were dancing in the background. Yeah, that'd be worth showing up for easily.
Great voice, very talented, and of course great friends with Trevor Williams and Chad Kuhl, all serious that they couldn't be backup dancers.
Yeah, they're heartbroken. They were heartbroken.
Yeah.
How can you do that to your buds?
Cervelli, uncomfortable looking swing and a miss, and it's 0-2 on the Pirates catcher. He broke an 0 for 13 hitless string last night with a couple of hits. Also drew a walk in the game. Tyone gives up a 2-run homer to Jesus Aguilar in the first, but good work to leave that man stranded at third. Pirates getting their first look at this youngster from Moca in the Dominican Republic, Freddie Peralta, who was signed by the Seattle Mariners as an amateur in April of 2013 and traded to the Brewers along with a couple of other minor leaguers for Adam Lind a couple of years later. The first baseman, Adam Lind. Two and two on Cervelli. Josh Bell on deck, then Gregory Polanco. Doesn't miss by much. Full count. Last start for him was 5 days ago for AAA Colorado Springs. Went just 3 innings as they anticipated this start tonight. And it's a pop up. Eric Thames going to call off VR.
That's something to prove there.
Yeah. It says VR, get away. I can catch this.
We're just kidding.
Yeah. Don't do it. We're only kidding, Eric. He's a really enjoyable guy to talk to who spent, as we said, 3 years in Korea.
I like the look he's got going now.
Yeah.
With the big, huge, full beard. He looks good.
Still looks mean.
Yes, he does. Don't want to mess with him.
Josh Bell, 1 for 3 last night. And that got in on him. And here's Thames again. Not very comfortable, but got the job done.
I don't think that's the way he wanted to catch that. Or maybe it was. We're not saying anything. Look at turn that into a nice over-the-shoulder catch.
Yeah, that's actually very nice, Eric. Allegheny Health Network Supremo.
Imagine if he gets you in a headlock.
No, can't imagine that. Now Polanco 1 for 3 with a walk last night. Make it 1 out of 2 with a free pass. Last night's ball game, Polanco singled his first time up, then drew a walk, struck out against Josh Hader just before Jordy Mercer doubled to bring in the game's only run. It is a pup night. 1001 pup nights. Or something like that.
It's my favorite night of the week. Love pup night.
There we go. Oh, geez. The Weimaraner.
Sit down. Sit down.
Yep.
Is he foaming?
A little bit, you think?
Need to get a napkin there.
Sheesh. And Polanco goes down swinging on the breaking ball. 2-0 Brewers. In case you missed it, that was the finishing touch for the Star Spangled Banner from Stephen Brault. Point Park University tweets. Some are calling it amazing. Imagine he's earned an opportunity to do it again. Like we said, it takes a lot of courage, a lot of guts to do it in front of your friends, your colleagues. In this setting. He did a real nice job. 0-2 the count on Lorenzo Cain. Cain started the ball game off with an infield single, just a dribbler. Francisco Cervelli, a great effort, but he's not able to get him at first. And now this won't be easy either. Barehand play by Mercer. Safe at first. For now.
Awfully close. Sure, they're taking a look at that back in the clubhouse. We'll take a look at it, see what we think.
Yeah, just did beat it out. Heck of a play by Mercer. Boy, Mercer and Cervelli. 2 infield hits for Cain. Thank you, Bob.
I don't know what it was, but it was heading north. It was going to.
I don't think it was a tick.
No, I think it was just some kind of ball.
Good try by Cervelli.
Can't quite throw him out yet tonight, can we?
The elusive Lorenzo Cain.
A marked man.
They aren't able to get Cain.
Yeah, he's a marked man.
Line drive toward left and caught by Dickerson. One out in the third. Yelich struck out his first time up. That's a cute pup.
Nice color combo there.
Yeah.
Good looking leash. How old do you think that dog was? Young.
I'm guessing 3.5.
3.5.
Yep.
Do you think they ever have pup nights on the Gateway Clipper?
No, they don't, but the people are lobbying for it. In fact, they're lobbying for cat nights on the Clipper.
That would be a good play.
They're going to call it
they really can't get away. They don't like water, so they're not going to jump overboard.
It would become the Catway Clipper, you see. Strike on Jesus Aguilar. Homered over the right center field fence in the first. They want to send along a very special happy 50-year anniversary today for Susan and John Muir of Brookline. David and Jack's parents, big Bucco fans. Congrats, 50 years, Susan and John Muir. Ball to strike. And you know, usually you got Terry Kissel manning the roving camera throughout the ballpark. He's home watching tonight. Little fender bender. He's okay. He was making his way into the ballpark. This ball lined sharply to left.
Got to get it in a hurry.
Cain can really run. Dickerson going to get it in. And Mercer's throw toward the plate is late. And it is 3-0 Milwaukee on the double by Aguilar.
It looked for a moment there that Cain might stop at third, as it was a decent bounce off that wall, the angled part of that wall that Dickerson was playing. But I thought I saw him slow down around third base bag and then pick it up again. There's the bounce pretty much right there. There's nothing more he could have done. And a good strong Strong throw, a little offline, but even still, it was going to be late. Let's see if I was seeing things here. And I was seeing things. I must have been looking at the coach or something. He didn't slow down a bit.
Aguilar's driven in 3. Kane has scored a pair, a couple of infield hits for him, producing runs. And this ball driven to right. Back Polanco. Thames retired on the line drive to deep right. 2 outs. Aguilar to third. So Thames has struck out and lined out to right.
Didn't look happy there, did he?
No.
He didn't think he's mad at us.
I hope not.
It's kind of a little bit of a tight spot. Even though you struck Perez out, he's hit you very well in the past, and you certainly don't want to give up a 4th run now this early in a ball game. You got to really make perfect pitches here. Perez is the guy that hit the line drive off Taillon's back of his head
A couple of years ago, Taillon stayed in the game.
A little extra upstairs at 96.
I think Perez was 5 for 7. His first 7 ABs against Taillon, with those 3 homers coming in the first 7 at bats. So Taillon's been much better. He once called his rival the Latin Babe Ruth, the way he hit him. He said, I think I pitched pretty well in the minors against him. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count on Perez. Two count now. Lorenzo Cain, his 2 infield singles. Very important part of this game as Taillon gets Perez again, this time swinging, and he has struck out 6, but he trails by 3. Park, and oh, there's a big Bob Walk fan. One of the sections below our booth in the club level. Yeah. Oh, there she is. Get up. Wave to Bob. 1 second. In the last half inning. There we go. All right. It's one of many.
They're all out there.
Yeah, they are. It's hard to acknowledge all of them, but Bob does his best.
Every inning I'm up waving and
Yep.
talking to folks.
They are your people. What does Blas say about that? Is he okay with you doing that?
He's been slowly passing down this responsibility to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, you know, he's trying to cut back a little, and so I've been trying to pick up some of his slack. And I think
is he teaching you a little bit?
Oh yeah. He's got certain moves that he makes and stuff.
Tricks of the trade.
Yeah,
huh?
exactly.
The man of the people.
Yeah. See? He knows.
Are you going to start wearing baseball caps from spring training from like 1995?
I wore my first one this year.
Yeah. Was it a recent cap or was it?
Yeah, no, it was a recent cap.
Well
It
used.
was a brand new cap.
Oh. You got to stop doing that.
During one of our opens.
Stop doing that.
Why?
You need to wear one that's really old and worn.
I will bring an old one in, and that'll be the next one.
Okay.
I'll do it.
I think what else? Bring some treats for the broadcast booth, like peanut butter.
I wore a Rivendell hat.
There you go.
That?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you and Steve both I think have them.
I'm trying to get us some ice cream.
I think the 3 people got those caps: Pete, Toma, you, and Steve, as I recall.
Yeah. There's a reason for that, because we like to support our sponsors.
Yes. Well, it was nice that I could be there for the opening of the area a couple weeks ago. I was happy to MC it. Don't need a cap. Just to thank you.
I think you're jealous.
Not at all. No siree. Not me.
Well, we need to put a cap on all these strikeouts.
That's the 3rd for the Pirates.
You know, one time through the lineup, you got this young guy. What kind of dog is that, Greg?
That is an Irish Wolfhound.
I really like the look of that dog. Kind of the shagginess.
Yeah.
Very cool. But you know, you've been through the lineup now once with this guy, and you need to make some adjustments. So far, that's my favorite dog of the night. I like that. I hope we get to see some more of that dog.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
Yeah. What is pup night? I wonder if someday I could be that dog's favorite announcer.
I think you already are, Bob.
Could be. I'm going to take that dog a ball so he can have something to play with.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Got a nice baseball right here.
2-2 now on Tyone with 1 away in the 3rd. Do you want to go ahead and do that now? Would you like to walk that out there?
No, but I'm thinking that's something we could do from now on. Dog of the night gets a take home a ball.
No reason you couldn't walk that out there right now and hand that to your favorite dog.
That's a long ways and would take a lot of time.
By the way, Joe Magnew is filling in for Terry tonight, doing a great job.
He's getting right down with the doggies.
Sure is.
I kind of like that dog there a little bit too.
Peralta at the 42 pitch mark. We mentioned his last start in the minor leagues. He went 3 and was pulled after 47 pitches, preparing for this start. And he strikes out Tyone. 4 punch outs, and now we'll see what he does second time around. Tonight's Barrel Automotive League leaders stat: the pitchers who use their 4-seam fastballs the most. Freddie Peralta, 86.7% of the time, uses that 4-seam fastball.
In his first 2 starts of his life.
Yep.
How many innings is that?
Let's see, 9 2/3.
9 2/3.
And it's hit in the air toward center.
One thing that'll help us out a lot is to start swinging at some strikes.
Yes. Don't help Freddie Peralta.
Down the left field line, Austin Barnes scores. Justin Turner scores. The Dodgers take a 4-3 lead. They go on to win Game 1 of the doubleheader by that score as we head back to Greg and Bob at PNC Park.
Okay, Rob, thanks very much. 3-0 here, heading to the 4th inning on the UPMC scoreboard. Mike Montgomery, by the way, will pitch in Game 2 for the Cubs against Rich Hill, who will come off the disabled list with those blister issues.
That first dog could be the right fielder of the Brewers. Don't mess with him.
Yeah, true. Jonathan Villar takes a strike. Six, 7, 8 in the order against Tyone. Bell backs up on that last hop for the first out here in the 4th inning. That brings Manny Pena to the plate. Pena tripled off Starling Marte's wrist his first time up. As Pena takes a strike, we pass along our thoughts and prayers to the Haig family. Bill Haig passed away over the weekend. Penn State grad, Duquesne Law School product, a huge Pirates fan. His son is a photographer for Pirates Prospects. Our thoughts and prayers to the Bill Haig family. 0-2 on Pena. Well, that didn't miss by much. Tyone has struck out 6. All 3 outs in the first inning. Got the last 2 outs in the second with a punch out. Got the last out last inning with a strikeout. And you can see the pitch count at 63 now for J-Mo. Really had to work that first inning. It all started because of that little infield dribbler hit by Lorenzo Cain to start the game.
And we've seen him, though, a couple of times get really efficient very quickly and put up some single-digit innings to keep himself in the ball games. But one of the problems, besides the pitch count he's going to run into, is down by 3 runs. Eventually, they're going to pinch hit for him if he comes up with somebody on base. Right now, he has to just keep putting up zeros, and hopefully the offense can do something with Peralta.
Yeah, a little bit of bad luck again for him. Even his last start in Phoenix, the first inning, he had 2 outs with a runner on first base, and then David Peralta, the left-handed hitting left fielder of the Diamondbacks, hit a fly ball to left field. Austin Meadows went back to the track and toward the wall, reached up, ball hit off his glove and bounced over the wall for a home run. Moran retires Pena. And here a couple of infield singles really hurt Tyone. Cheer on the Buccos. Enjoy Zambelli fireworks coming up this Friday when the Pirates take on those Diamondbacks in Game 2 of the 4-game series. 7:05 first pitch. Stick around for the post-game Zambelli fireworks show after the game. Go to pirates.com/fireworks for tickets. See how happy you can be when you have that baseball?
Nothing better than that.
Well, or ice cream.
What would you rather have, an ice cream cone or a baseball? Baseball is going to last for a long time. That ice cream cone is gone in 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
I don't know.
Got to be the baseball.
How would you answer that?
Baseball. Definitely would rather have a baseball than an ice cream cone. At any point in my life, I would have said, I'll take the baseball.
Ooh, shot past the mound into center field. Orlando Arcia rifles one past Tyone. So a 2-out single brings up the pitcher Freddie Peralta. You see Jay frustrated. He believes he can get to anything.
Sure looked like it might have caught a little bit of the foot of Tyone. Center square.
One ball, 1 strike on the pitcher, Peralta. A 136 career hitter in the minors with a couple of RBIs. Tyone registers his 7th strikeout. Peralta and the Brewers lead it 3-0.
Wrap fourth inning. Toyota, what drives you?
3-0 ball game, moving to the bottom of the fourth inning. Bucks and Brewers, second time around to see this 22-year-old rookie making his third major league start. Corey Dickerson popped up his first time. Again, as Bob mentioned, don't want to help him out. Make sure he throws strikes. That second start for him against the Twins on May the 19th, he walked 6.
You know, I noticed also
innings.
too on that highlight of him striking out a lot of those Rocky players. There were a lot of swings and misses on balls that were not in the strike zone. There's an example right there.
Yeah, pitch off the plate in.
And a 1-0 count. You know, you're in the driver's seat. You're not protecting.
Again, same spot.
Yep.
Chases up again.
Hadn't
out of the
thrown a
zone.
strike yet, and he got ahead 1-0 with that curveball way down and in. Or excuse me, Dickerson was ahead 1-0.
Right. First pitch out of the zone, the breaking ball, and
If
then
he went up there without a bat, it'd be ball 4.
yeah.
But it's not just Dickerson. I mean, I think that's a little bit of a theme we got going here. Get him in the strike zone.
Of course, Dickerson, he's walked just 8 times all season.
Yeah, he's a bad example.
Yeah.
For being patient. He's going to swing the bat. But he has walked 8 times. And he'll walk again. So let's make it tonight.
Jeff Branson, Pirates hitting coach. Peralta shaking off Pena. Marte and then Moran here in the 4th. Still hasn't thrown a strike to Dickerson. Toward left. Foul.
Finally a strike, and Dickerson hits it pretty well. Just a little bit too much slice on it. Side spin. Got it into foul territory.
Took my human to the game for his birthday.
Good job by that little pup.
Wasn't that David Freese's nickname for that Little League game last year? Dave Human? Because you want to confuse it with his buddy at the dog. His Bob. Remember that?
Yeah.
His buddy Bob had a dog named Dave. Dave has a dog named Bob. Line to left and a base hit, and it's the first hit for the Pirates.
And he got 2 balls in the strike zone and hit both of them well. Got to get him in the strike zone. And it's not just chasing balls also, but it's swinging at borderline pitches, you know, where the baseball is half in the strike zone, half out of the strike zone. Now if there's 2 strikes, you got to do that, I understand, but no reason to be doing that early in the count or when you're ahead in the count. Get the young man starting to put some pressure on himself, you know, to throw strikes, and he'll start finding the middle of the strike zone, and that straight fastball probably won't play as well if it's anywhere around that center square.
Hit a fly ball to Eric Thames, and right Thames dropped it for a 2-base error, did Marte. Ball a strike on the Pirates center fielder. Hits this hard. Thames back, and he makes a fine catch.
Wow. It was a nice grab. I wasn't expecting that off the bat. I saw him going back, and I thought, well, there's a good chance of being for extra bases. Thames comes up with a nice one. Right in the center of the pocket that time.
Hit hard by Marte.
But another ball in the middle of the strike zone. And another one barreled up.
Now Colin Moran, he lined out to Lorenzo Cain in the first inning. He's hit safely in 6 straight games, Colin Moran. And he's reached base safely in each of his last 17 starts.
Changeup. Could be the first one of those I've seen tonight.
It's Craig Counsell, the Brewers skipper. Pirates playing the Brewers for the first time here at PNC Park this series. They won 2 of 3 against the Brewers at Miller Park in Milwaukee in May, and there's ball 3.
Beautiful. This is what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, asking him where it was, David Rackley. Was that off the plate?
Yep, it's off the plate.
Pitch.
You're in that dugout. All you can see is up and down, and you know you can tell. Hey, those pitches are high enough. Why are they balls? Well, you don't see the in and out. You know, especially if your catcher is setting up like on a borderline to begin with.
Three and 1. Right there again for a full count. Now where does this pitch go to Moran? Cervelli on deck. Breaks his bat, a roller to third. Perez on the run, and a weak throw to first. An infield hit for Colin Moran, puts runners at first and second.
Moran, not a speedster. You were still kind of wondering, even though that had a good chance of being a base hit. But Perez did get off a very slow throw.
He was off the line and back, and you'll see him come in just now. Allegheny Health Network Supermo look. The broken bat single for Moran puts 2 on with 1 out for Cervelli.
Thought it was interesting there that they did not hold Dickerson on that pitch. They played behind him at first base by about 6-7 feet. That's one you got to remember for next time that situation comes up.
Got a piece of it with that breaking ball that didn't break over the plate, and Cervelli diving out of the way.
Didn't break very much.
1-0 on Cervelli. Flied to right in the second. Down 3. Want to get at least a run in here if you can in the 4th inning and put some pressure on this rookie. Just his 3rd start. And again, this time inside with a fastball. 2-0. Freddie Peralta. His first start struck out 13 Rockies in 5 2/3 innings, 1 hit. And then gave up 4 runs, 3 hits in 4 innings against the Twins 6 days later with 6 walks, 5 strikeouts. Two-0 count on Cervelli. Working with Manny Pena. And it's 3-0. So going back to that theme, Dickerson came to the plate. Finally swung at some pitches in the zone, got the hit. Marte lined out sharply, and Moran took 3-0. A couple of pitches for strikes before he got the infield hit. And now 3-0 on Cervelli. And he swings 3-0 on a borderline pitch. Not what he wanted to do. Let's go back to the studio. Rob King with a game break. Cool look here at the city of Pittsburgh as the sun sets and reflects off that great skyline. Not a great job Cervelli knows on 3-0. Not a pitch you want to swing at.
No, you did him a favor.
As does Bell.
There we are. Yep. Look at that pitch. Strike 1. We got to quit chasing this guy. I mean, 3-0, and that's why Cervelli's so upset, is he knows better.
Snap throw to second. 2 strikes on Bell.
And this scenario here, it's 0-2. Now, the shoe's on the other foot. You got to protect. If he throws a borderline pitch, you got to swing at it. That's why you don't want to get yourself in this position. There's no more being selective.
Struck him out. And that is number 5 for Peralta. Still 3-0 Brewers. at life in the minor leagues, stretching out on the buses, finding out where the good food places are, getting proper rest. Can all be a challenge, but these top prospects making the best of it. Inside Pirates baseball, Around the Curve debuts Thursday after Pirates post game. 3-0 Brewers head to the 5th.
They light up that Duquesne light sign. It's neat.
Pretty cool.
How do they do that? Oh, look at that. The building next door, they light that up also.
And no
man and his dog.
No pup night for him. He's
man and his dog.
His pup night's on the river. Lorenzo Cain, 2 infield singles. Starting out the ball game and beginning the 3rd inning with infield hits. Two-0 count. Cain and Aguilar 4 for 4. Rest of the team 2 out of 14. This time they should retire Cain. Mercer will. That time Cain not able to pick up a hit.
Oh, he got 2-0. He got aggressive and tried to pull the ball on the outside half the plate. Put it on the ground, a shortstop.
The big man has driven in the 3 runs, a 2-run homer and an RBI double on deck as Yelich bats with 1 out. Taillon start his 15th of the year. Coming into this one, over his last 4 starts, an ERA under 3. 2-1, 2.73 ERA. And Yelich fights it off for a 1-out single. Now it's Aguilar. Enhance your next game day experience with the MLB Ballpark app. Access and manage your tickets. Enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today.
Look at the paint job there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Just the front paws.
Just for the game.
How about that?
Do the toenails later on. Just to
very pretty.
Paw nails. Front paw nails.
Yep. Now can Taillon retire Aguilar? He hit .370 against Pirates pitching last year. Was 1 for 9 against the Bucks coming into this game this season. But he's homered and doubled in a run. Crowds him. 2-1. Two and 1 on Aguilar with a runner at first and 1 out. 3-0 Brewers. And there is a strike to even things up at 2-2. Aguilar with 14 homers since April the 19th.
Nice pitch right there.
And now it's 3-2. What do you do if you're Tyone? This guy's hit 2 rockets off you. Eric Thames on deck, 1 out. He's retired Thames twice with a strikeout and a line out to the warning track.
Okay. Power inside. Could have been ball 4, but got a chase on it.
Aguilar has struck out 53 times in 185 at bats. Picked up off waivers by the Brewers. February of last year, he'd been DFA'd by Cleveland. And Tyone wanted that call badly, but doesn't get it. 2 on. His first walk. And out comes Cervelli and pitching coach Ray Searage with 2 men aboard and 1 out for Eric Thames. Looks like the bullpen is stirring. Indeed, Richard Rodriguez, who was activated off the disabled list yesterday, will start to throw.
Getting close to 90 pitches. Gotta have a lot of hardware on a dog like that in case you need to rip out of your hands.
It's a tiny puppy.
Strong dogs, so you gotta have that big harness on them.
Yeah. Well, ball 1 on Thames. Dangerous time here. Pirates trail by 3. Tyone really needs to buckle down and try and keep the Brewers off the scoreboard here in the 5th inning. The shift on Mercer on the right side of the infield. Two and one. Gets a call.
Nice curveball. Haven't thrown many hooks tonight.
2-2.
That's a beauty. Starting right on the edge. Break it in over the outside half with the knees.
Hard into the seats. Still 2-2 on Eric Thames. He was on the disabled list the first time the Pirates saw the Brewers this year up in Milwaukee. Thames hit 31 homers last year for the Brewers. And hits this in the air to left for Dickerson. And the second out. And here we go again with Tyone against Hernan Perez. An upset Thames. 0 for 3 back to the dugout.
Nobody is in his way. They clear that man a path.
Still 2 on. Now 2 outs. Perez has struck out looking and swinging, and the runner takes off at third. And safe there Christian Yelich takes off for third. Aguilar remains at first. Tom Prince, bench coach, on the phone. See if they want to challenge.
Any play is it's close, you're going to check it out. No reason to challenge that I could see. Looks like a game of Twister there at the end, didn't it? You ever play Twister?
Yeah.
Is that what it looked like?
It did.
Yep. Hand touching the back on the other side of his leg.
Nine steals for Yelich. And it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes on Perez. Taillon approaching 100 pitches, trying to get this last out. Just gets a piece of it as Aguilar took off from first.
If he was going to steal, he should have went with Yelich. You had Bell almost playing second base. He was taking a 20-foot lead, but he got caught napping, and so he's not standing at second.
Cervelli runs through a series of signs in front of the plate as Perez fouled off that 1-2.
They're going to try and steal home. That's the only reason I would think Aguilar will run.
Another foul. Jameson Taillon has won 2 of his last 3 starts. Gave up the 2-run homer in the first inning against the Diamondbacks in Phoenix last week, and that was it. Went 7. That followed his 5-inning performance against the Dodgers, a game the Pirates lost 8-7. And he shut out the Cardinals through 8 innings on June the 1st. Grounded just foul.
Ball really hooked, didn't it?
Did.
Yeah, first bounce was well into fair territory.
Chop left side, Moran. He'll throw to first, and that'll do it. So good work from Taillon. Negotiating around that traffic on the bases. Down 3. Ohio area. Thanks for watching and rooting on your Pirates. All of us at AT&T Sports Network and the Pirates appreciate your support. 3-zip. Gregory Polanco starts off the bottom of the 5th. Freddie Peralta, his 3rd major league start, just called up today from the minors after making 2 starts last month for Milwaukee. Polanco struck out in the 2nd, one of 5 Ks for Peralta. Two 2-0 again. Yeah, back to this theme.
That's what I'm talking about. This is the key right here. Now, I don't know how long he'll be out there. He's thrown 71 pitches now, but get him in the strike zone and a couple runners on, and somebody hit one over the fence. Tie this one up.
Gets under it, pops it up.
I can't fault him for swinging at that one on 2-0. That was a good pitch for Polanco to maybe hit. He just got underneath it just a little bit. That's a good solid strike to take a run at right there. Just simply popped it up.
Now it's Jordy Mercer. There's a strike. Couple of strikes now on Mercer.
Rare breaking ball for strike 2.
Takes care of him. 3 pitches. Freddie Peralta strikes out Mercer, and now Jose Osuna is going to come out as a pinch hitter. 6 Ks for Peralta.
Taillon had 100 pitches. 3 runs down.
Chad Cole and Taillon chat as Tyler Glasnow will be the new pitcher.
2 of those 3 runs scoring, well, because of just unlucky, weak infield hits.
And the pitching coach Derek Johnson will come out as Jose Osuna is announced as the pinch hitter, just up from AAA again yesterday. Sundays are kids' days at PNC Park. This Sunday, Pirates host the Diamondbacks. Final game of the 10-game homestand. 1:35. Kids 14 and under will get a drawstring bag thanks to the MLB Network. Plus, before the game, the Family Fun Zone on Federal Street. After the game, kids can run the bases. Go to pirates.com/kidsdays this coming Sunday. Buccos D-backs. And some kids on hand tonight, hoping their Pirates can rally. Jose Osuna, recalled yesterday from Indy, was hitting .340 with 31 RBIs. His 2nd stint with the Pirates. Was up for a month starting April the 25th. Pitches by inning for Freddie Peralta. Looking for his 2nd major league win. Oh, big swing there from Osuna. Out of the zone. Peralta gave up 1 home run this season at AAA Colorado Springs. and Jose Osuna at AAA Indianapolis this season. 4 homers in 40 games. Hit a pair in 14 games for the Pirates. 2-2. And after jumping out in front of Osuna, it's now 3-2. Josh Harrison on deck. Just 2 hits for the Pirates. Corey Dickerson led off last inning with a base hit to left, and Colin Moran a broken bat infield single that 4th inning. And to the second baseman, out on the outfield grass, VR throws out Osuna. And the Pirates go down in order. They're being blanked by Freddie Peralta. 3-0. Shots from the Allegheny Health Network Supermo. Tonight's action 3-0. Last night, Pirates blanked the Brewers 1-0. And tonight it's pup night at the ballpark.
Oh, that's a cute dog.
Yeah, and
Look at that
very
face.
happy.
Look at that face.
Yeah, very lovable. Is that a pug?
I don't know. It's just a cute dog. I like the coloring there too. It's like our shirts. That kind of charcoal gray.
Yeah.
Good look.
Yeah.
It was a French bulldog, I've been told.
French bulldog from our experts in the trailer. They do all the research on these breeds and pass the info on to us.
There is at least.
We actually have a person in the truck researching this.
Dog expert.
Yep.
I don't think that a day goes by that he doesn't mention a canine or two.
In fact, the dog expert in the truck tells us that Friday is Bring Your Dog to Work Day.
So are you going to bring one of your dogs?
Are you?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, I'll be on radio. There's not much room over there, but I'll
just let it run around the ballpark.
Yeah. No, he'll have to sit right next to me.
It's a fireworks night too here, by the way. Strike 3 called.
Well, they'll have to cancel that because Sam doesn't like fireworks.
ER strikes out against Glass now. Tyler Glass now coming on after Tyone went 5, gave up 3 on 6 hits. There's Manny Pena. Pena has tripled and bounced out. Breaking ball. Cubs and Dodgers scoreless in the 3rd at Wrigley. Phillies lead the Cardinals 4-2 in the 5th in Philadelphia. Cardinals what a disappointing loss for them last night after they came back to take a lead into the 10th inning. Phillies walked it off. I don't think anyone was hurt after that game, however. 2-1. Frustrating loss. And frustrations boiled over last night in San Francisco when Hunter Strickland blew the save and the Marlins came back to beat the Giants 5-4, and Strickland was so mad he fractured his right hand punching a door after the blown save. He's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. Giants closer came in with a 2-run lead in the 9th inning last night at AT&T Park. Gave up 3 runs. His 2nd straight blown save. And now he's out after breaking his hand. He wasn't happy when Lewis Brinson was I delivered a key hit, wound up at 3rd base, and when Strickland was leaving the ball game, he staring him down. 3-2 on Pena.
But he was more upset with the door, apparently.
Yeah.
That's what those wooden bats are for. You take those back. Take it out on doors and walls with one of those.
Ground single for Pena, his 2nd hit. A 1-out single brings up Orlando Arcia. Lewis Brinson, by the way, one of the players the Marlins got in the Christian Yelich deal. Check out the Nissan Road Ahead. It is the finale of the series. Chad Kuhl goes for the Bucks against lefty Brent Suter. Coverage starts at 6:30. Our Nissan Road Ahead. Chad Kuhl
pitching very well.
Chopped, not a double play ball. You get 1. Well, maybe it will be.
Oh, nice.
Oh man, Orlando Arcia was really having trouble getting out of the box. Apparently, he's out by a mile. actually.
Yeah, got him with ease. Garcia just maybe a little slow coming out of the box, kind of falling backwards on that backswing, but
Carries his bat with him 4 steps.
yeah, that's probably not
Slow you
ideal.
down a little bit.
Yeah, that's a little extra weight you need to get rid of.
Frustrated.
But that was an excellent turn. I thought that both guys did a pretty good job there.
Very nice.
Turned it into 2 outs.
And important. Keeps it a 3-0 deficit as the Pirates go to work. Their 3rd time around. Hey, look at this gentleman.
Just want to have a beer with Steve Blass.
How about that? Brought a sign for it.
Saw a guy earlier had a sign. Just want to have a glass of milk with Steve.
Well, you can either one. Steve, make sure to have a glass of milk and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich before every game.
I was really surprised yesterday when Steve showed up with a quart of milk to put in the fridge.
And he was surprised that we weren't really excited about it.
Yeah.
So, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. And he said, well, we have bread, we have peanut butter, we have jelly, we need milk to go with it.
Down on the water.
And all we have is water.
Popped up out of play. It is 2-1. Pena didn't know where it was initially.
Weather's been cooperating nicely of late, though. We haven't had to have any supplies. Rain's been staying away.
And again, tomorrow, the finale of the series. Hopefully, the Pirates will be aiming for a sweep.
Beautiful night tonight.
Oh, chases that pitch right around the knees. 2-2, fooled by it. By the way, Bob, did you see that Chad Kuhl, who starts tomorrow night in 6 career starts against the Brewers, is 3-0 with a 1.91 ERA against them? As Perez retires Harrison. 1 up and 1 down.
Likes pitching against the Brewers. Or a pitcher or brew, either one.
Yeah. It's cool tomorrow. Ivan Nova starts Thursday night. Joe Musgrove looks for a bounce back start on Friday night. Saturday afternoon, 4:05 game against the Diamondbacks' Trevor Williams. And then Jameson Taillon returns to take on the Snakes on Sunday. Corey Dickerson has one of the 2 Pirates hits against Freddie Peralta. Two-0 count. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Dickerson thought it should be 2-0. 1-1 now. Singled in the 4th. Popped up his first time up. Now it's 2-1 as Peralta doesn't get that call. Pitch right there for Dickerson, but it's 2-2. Might have Dickerson talking to himself a little bit. Kind of a frustrating night for the Pirates. Peralta has struck out 6.
It's been like this a few times this year. They've gone up against young pitchers and they haven't seen before. And it's just taken them a while to get it figured out.
Josh Harrison 0 for 3. Seated next to Mike Gonzalez, the assistant to the general manager. And glass popped up and looking like it might be out of play, and it is. Oh, look out. Oh, man. Somebody lost
That's a full
jumbo beer. Whoa.
That is a full beer.
Oh,
there.
my gosh. Well, mostly full. Now it's about empty. Look at this.
Pow.
Bullseye. Look at that thing.
Go off. Oh,
Early fireworks. Oh, my gosh. Look at this. Look at Pena's reaction. Hey, what are you doing, man? Just wasted a beer.
There you go. Your whole beer is gone. Oh, what a great shot.
That is a classic. Just exploded. Yeah, now let's go through the whole scenario again. Slap foul out of play.
That was one of the best of the year right there.
Yep.
Everybody got wet.
Blame it on Corey Dickerson. Yep. I'm sorry. And Dickerson works the count full. That gentleman is the man who has the sign that he'd like to have a beer with Steve Blass. And that guy down there just wasted one.
He just wants a beer.
Yeah,
with
anybody.
Anybody. He just needs another beer.
Yeah. Oh, struck him out looking. Look at that pitch.
That pitch was at.
Wow.
And that's a breaking ball, too. It was coming from the other direction. It's not like it was a strike and ran off the plate. That ball never was a strike. Never at any time does this ball even look like it's going to be in the strike zone. It's outside.
Wow.
It stays outside.
Oh, my goodness. That's hard to believe. No way. Man. 7 strikeouts.
Well,
Now
you try
for
to be
Peralta.
patient, get the guy in the strike zone, but
Man.
that can make it tough.
Dan Jennings, the lefty. Jeremy Jeffress is the righty. Again, a ball hit hard to right. Thames back. And he makes the catch. And the Pirates go down in order. Shutout continues for Freddie Peralta.
happened in the last half inning, where my new friend Andreas here from the South Hills attempted to one-hand a foul ball, and it didn't work out so well for him or his beer. And I'm standing here with a piece of the wreckage, Greg and Bob. This is it. And I can happily report that still about a third full with this beer. Andreas, what happened?
Well, you see, I thought we were like pretty covered here by like the protective netting. I see the foul ball go up. I had the beer in the right hand, free left hand. Should have saved the beer. Should have two-handed it, but unfortunately the foul ball got the beer rather than my hand.
There's no doubt.
It was a good effort, though. Good effort, though.
It was a great effort. So a couple things are notable from that. Number one, you're going to be all over the internet and all over highlight shows tonight. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's, you know, fine by me. More, you know, more famous than I was before.
The other thing, too, was the reaction from Manny Pena, the catcher of the Milwaukee Brewers. He saw it, and he saw the beer explode all over the place. He's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, I guess I should have taken what was more important in the situation, foul ball or beer. Should have taken the beer, I guess. I mean, being honest.
So, are you going to finish this beer?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Go Buccos.
By the way, what do the people around him think of him?
So now,
do they mind?
We're going to have to get back to him in just a second as he finishes the final third of his beer, which is a great performance here on live television by Andreas, by the way. You know, this might have to go in the archives in PNC Park.
I think you got to get a Corey Dickerson autograph on that can of beer, don't you?
Yep, so maybe we'll keep this can. Greg, what'd you say? People around him, the reaction.
What do they think? What do they think?
Yeah,
of
so
him?
you got your buddy here. The reaction of the people around you as we get a base hit here from Eric Sogard. What's your reaction from everybody around you?
I mean, they've actually been pretty supportive. I mean, I thought I would have got like more booze before. I kind of sprayed everybody with alcoholic beverage, but you know, they're pretty supportive, and I hope I didn't get any on the Brewers players here.
Robbie.
He actually asked if the Brewers would be mad, and I said, I promise you they are not mad.
Robbie, but what about his buddy next to him? These excuses Andreas is making about he thinks it's a good effort. He's blaming the netting, everything else but himself to blame.
I'm going to show you something. We're going to let Tyler Glasnow throw this pitch. I'm going to ask both gentlemen to stand up if they can come back to us with the camera. Guys, stand up real quick here. And if we could zoom in a little bit, just look at the butt, look at the shorts. Look at this. Look at the carnage that took place here in row one behind the Milwaukee Brewers dugout. With that being said, you have beer all over your shorts now, Andreas. Let's sit back down so everybody behind us can see. Has anyone offered to replace the beer for you?
No, that's not happened yet.
You know what's crazy? In my earpiece, Greg Brown and Bob Walk just offered to replace it for you. How about that? They're going to pay for it.
Appreciate it, guys up there. I listen to you guys every game, and that'd be very cool of you.
Greg, Bob, any response to that? I just rolled you under the bus?
Oh, no, yeah. That's great. Hey.
No, absolutely, we'll do that. But I still want to know what his buddy thinks, Robbie, of the excuses Andreas was making.
So Greg wants to know what your friend over here next to you.
Ask the buddy, not Andreas, because Andreas has been lying. What about his buddy next to him?
Go to your, what's your name, sir?
Dan.
Dan, what do you think of the excuses that Andreas made that resulted in this and the beer subsequently that has been shot all over your pants?
I mean, I guess he was a lefty, so maybe he was trying to go with the free hand, but I mean, it could have been a better job.
Yep, he's not gonna lie. It could have been a better job, Andreas. And your thoughts on Dan's response?
Well, this is gonna go viral, and
keep it clean. We're on live television, family programming.
He actually is right. I was trying to go lefty with it. It was just a poor decision by myself. Yeah, hopefully there will be a foul ball in my future next time, you know.
Okay, sounds good. Well, we're on our way. We're on our way to get you a Yingling tall boy. Good stuff. And I'm sure next time you check your cell phone, a lot of your friends and family and even people that aren't your friends are going to be contacting you.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
By the way, Robbie, in Andreas' support,
yes,
the gentleman to your left,
okay,
he created a little bit of interference. He went in to try and grab himself. So looking at the replay, he may get an assist
Sir,
on
I'm just
that.
being told you get an assist for creating a little
and he knows it
interference
too.
on
Look
that
at
fly
him.
ball front.
He knows it.
All right, do you want to take Greg and Bob off the hook and buy him a new beer?
I'll be happy to buy him a beer for sure. Absolutely, no treat.
You are off the hook. You gentlemen are off the hook. You don't have to split the cost of that beer. But anyways, that's I think that's all we have here from the hijinks beyond the Brewers dugout, guys.
Oh my goodness, a lot of stuff down there, man. Thank you, Robbie and Andreas and Dan and all the folks who assisted in that hijinks. Christian Yelich, a 1-ball, 1-strike count. He's at the plate against Tyler Glass now after a leadoff hit by the pinch hitter Eric Sogard. Lorenzo Cain struck out. And concerned that Sogard might be taking off here.
These Brewers like to run, and Glass now has at times had his problem holding runners. Gotten better at it though. He's really cut down the leg kick.
Glass now pitched 2 scoreless on Sunday. Robbie has some more?
Yeah, so I have an update. Right as I was walking to go buy a new beer for him, Aramar came up and brought him a fresh one right here. How about this? He's got a brand new beer.
Courtesy of Aramar.
Not only are you and Bob off the hook, this gentleman right next to us is as well, and our man Andreas has a brand new beer.
Now that's the way it should have worked out.
Now that's called first class.
Drink responsibly.
I have one thing to say to you before we go, Andreas. Drink it responsibly, number 1. Actually, I have 2. And bring a glove next time, okay?
Yeah, next time. Next time I'll bring the glove for sure. Thank you, guys.
All right, how about that? Andreas, great sport about the whole thing, guys, and his phone probably will not stop going off the rest of the evening.
And if you're sitting next to him, maybe he could pass out some ponchos for the folks. You never know.
I think early on during the interview, he gave away what went wrong. He got complacent because he got the screen in front of him.
Runner goes, and there will be no attempt as Yelich goes down on strikes. Sogard steals second, 2 away.
A good hook by Glass now. Look at that great top spin on that ball.
Now Aguilar. Be careful with this guy. Homer, double. Walked on a 3-2 pitch. He is really seeing the ball well. At least he was against Tyone. Very comfortable at the plate. And gets away, allowing Sogard to move up to third. Wild pitch for Glass now.
Wild pitches went away for a while, but they're trying to make a comeback. Pirates really had a tough time with that back in April.
.30 count. Eric Thames on deck. And it's 3-1.
Well, they weren't pitching around him because they came right down the middle with that one. 3-0 pitch.
Time to get somebody else up in the pen. Oh, 3-2. The big man smacks himself on the helmet. You could hear it.
Didn't like the fact that he chased that curveball. Pow.
Bobby Bonilla used to do that on occasion, didn't he?
All time.
And he struck him out. And Glass now fired up as he strikes out 3 straight and 4 in his 2 innings of work.
of the Pittsburgh Pirates and fans like you. Let's go Bucks!
Pirates trailing 3-0, head to the bottom of the 7th inning here at PNC Park. Jamison Tyone, starting for the Pirates, gave up an infield single to Lorenzo Cain, and then with 1 out, Jesus Aguilar homers for the 14th time this season over the right center field wall. 3rd inning, again an infield hit for Lorenzo Cain, and with 1 out, he'll score on the Aguilar double to make it a 3-0 ball game. Freddie Peralta, his 3rd major league start. Pirates for a while were chasing and just couldn't figure him out.
Yeah, they really did, show some impatience a lot of times, chase balls out of the strike zone. And he also, I thought, Greg, they did take some strikes that were probably pretty hittable. Kind of got it backwards a little, but first time you ever see a guy, that might happen, and never were able to make, a really strong adjustment. We saw a couple hitters that were trying to do that, and got into some good hitters counts by being patient. But then it seemed like it didn't last. Like Cervelli's at bat. Remember that one where he was very patient? Ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, but then he swung at a very borderline pitch on the 3-0 and popped up. So it just is one of those things. I think with next time around they'll do much better against Peralta. I would hope.
Good work from Tyler Glass now. 2 scoreless.
Boy, Tyler going to the bullpen has really paid off this year for the Pirates. He has gathered a lot of confidence now. He knows that he can get big league hitters out. He's proven it. And now he's pitching in much tighter games, later in games.
Higher level. Ball 1 on Colin Moran. He's lined out and had an infield single. Facing lefty Dan Jennings. Brewers picked up Jennings at the end of spring training. Tampa Bay let him go. They signed him. He was outstanding early on this season. In fact, first 24 appearances. A 1.93 ERA for Craig Counsell. Last 9 times out, however, a 6.30 ERA. Pirates have Edgar Santana loosening, ready to pitch the 8th. Glass now, a couple of hits and 4 strikeouts. Roller to short, Arcia. One out. Moran is the first out of the 7th inning. And Jennings faces Francisco Cervelli, who's flied out twice. Swung at that 3-0 pitch in the 4th inning. It was borderline and popped up. He knew right away what he had done. Pirates had 2 on, 1 out. Time called. And we also want to pass along our condolences to another big family of Pirate fans who lost a loved one, Bob Covert, Mount Pleasant, and the appeal no swing. Bob Covert, a former Westmoreland County sheriff for 15 years. Did a lot of officiating in basketball and umpiring, American Legion baseball. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Cervelli. And Bob Covert caught just about every Pirates game here on AT&T Sportsnet. Thoughts and prayers go out to his family. And another strikeout.
Well, that's one.
What was that? Jennings surprised Cervelli here. Quick pitch.
Nobody on base. They don't have to stop.
Josh Bell is 0 for 2. Pirates bats extremely quiet tonight. Just 2 hits.
Jennings really works at a quick pace, doesn't he?
2-2 on Bell. Count remains 2-2. The Phillies still leading the Cardinals 4-2. Cubs and Dodgers 0-0 after 4 at Wrigley. You might have seen Rob King with a game break earlier showing the Dodgers winning this afternoon at Wrigley, a walk-off, or rather a 9th inning rally, winning 4-3. Look out, Andreas.
Oh, he's okay. He's got the net.
Oh yeah, he gave us that excuse earlier. And of course now he's got to answer all the texts and
it's not
everybody around him.
It's not a dome. It's a net in front of you.
That's right.
Not inside the batting cage.
Yeah, the ball's popped up. It can go over the screen. Some tweets. And Emmy for their coverage of this guy in the front row. Yeah. Exploding beer, favorite part of this game. Great reporting from Robbie. Yeah, here. Good job by Robbie and Smikowski.
Good job, Robbie. We'll buy you a beer later.
I think we need to get Andreas, his buddy, the gentleman who interfered with Andreas, who's on the other side of the aisle, Steve, and his buddy
down here
below us with the sign, all together. That'd be a fun, maybe that's an Inside Pirates baseball for Jack Becker. Jack, what do you think?
What's that?
It's kind of a
that place underneath the rotunda, the blockhouse.
Yeah,
get them down there. Put them in the blockhouse.
Brownie, I'm on my way to work on some invites in the Pirates offices. What would you like me to have on them?
Some invites, just I
just
think,
to get everybody together, like you said.
Yeah, I think it should be just a small gathering. I think you should certainly be there to address the panel. Yeah,
and I will add to it that Greg Brown will be laying
I'm just
as soon as we step in.
I'm just gonna.
We're idea men. We don't follow through.
Right,
anything.
right. We won't be there because we're really not part of this.
Greg follows through sometimes. I'm just the idea man.
And there's finally a walk. 11 pitch at bat there for Bell. Well done. The first walk. Let's see if this leads to anything, as Jennings will face the lefty hitting Polanco. But first, a trip to the mound from Manny Pena. And Jeremy Jeffers up apparently for Mercer. By the way, Mercer is 5 for 11 in his career against Jeffers, a .455 average. Well, Jeffers has been pitching very well this season. Be interesting to see if we have that matchup. First, it's up to Polanco to try and reach here against Jennings. First pitch strike on Polanco. Polanco hitting .163 against lefty pitching this season, 7 out of 43. And in the hole 0-2. Meanwhile, Jennings has held left-handed batters to a .211 average. So now Polanco really in for a battle. Look at that gap in left center. Going to try a breaking ball, see if you can get him to chase. No. Going to hold off. 1-2. Jennings pitched on Sunday against the Phillies. Struck out Aaron Altair, the only batter he faced.
Polanco might have been rushed a little bit there. Looked up, immediately called timeout. Jennings does like to work fast.
Jennings was a 9th round pick of the Marlins 10 years ago out of the University of Nebraska. Picked up in a deal with the White Sox before the 2015 season, and the Rays got him last summer for Casey Gillespie. And then they released him at the end of spring training this year. This Brewers bullpen was one of the real stories in the National League. The first 2 months ERA of 2.45, but in June bullpen ERA is 4.26 for Milwaukee. Checks. Did he? Yes. Larry Vanover at third.
Close, huh?
Very, very close. Just gets a piece.
You know, if they ever went to you know, some kind of a
challenge system for them.
No, a different way to call strikes and balls.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
automated system.
Yeah, how would they ever automate that? The appeal on a check swing.
Another tapper foul. Aguilar having fun with Kamara Barte, and Bucko fan has a souvenir.
Aguilar's here. Give this whoever you want.
Another 2-2 pitch to Polanco. Drives it toward right, but it's hooking and foul.
Didn't sound good. Still carried up against the wall. How strong he is.
After Jennings retired, Moran and Cervelli quickly. An 11-pitch plate appearance for Bell resulted in a walk. And now the 9th pitch of this at bat. And now he will see at least 10 pitches. Will Mercer get a chance?
You know, the fact that he's moved off the plate has created a little space in there to take those pitches for a ball.
Here comes a big 3-2 pitch. And he fisted it into right field for a base hit. Talk about the strength of Polanco. Puts runners at first and third. Those are 2 big battles for Bell and Polanco against Jennings. And now does counsel go to the righty Jeffers?
Looks like he's going to make that move. Got it in on the label. Yeah, you get it put in place somewhere. Occasionally you get a little lucky, and Polanco just dumps this one in.
Pirates have some life here in the 7th inning. Mercer will face Jeffers with 2 on and 2 outs, down 3. Here it is. 3-zip, 2 on, 2 outs. 7th inning. Jordy Mercer against Jeremy Jeffers. And a Mercer fan watches. Mercer struck out twice against Peralta, the starter. Gave you the good career numbers for Mercer against this right-hander. Look at that.
Fine numbers there. Opponent batting average is 142.
Mercer with
the guy hit off last night. They've only given up 12 hits all year.
5 for 11 in his career against Jeffers, who pitched on Sunday and allowed 2 inherited runners to score. Well, he's got 2 inherited now, with Austin Meadows on deck to pinch hit. And Mercer pops this one up out of play. 97 from Jeffers.
Mercer got the big hit off Hader last night.
Jeffers unscored upon in 32 of his 34 appearances this year. Bell walked, Polanco singled. Three and 1. Here's the hit yesterday, the lone RBI of the game off one of the tougher lefties in baseball, Josh Hader. 2 out, double brought in Francisco Cervelli with the game's only run. There's Hader. 3 and 1 on Mercer. Lines it toward left center field. That's going to get down. That scores Bell. Polanco will be held at third. Mercer into second. The Pirates on the board. 3-1.
Boy, he's just coming up big. Ever since that series in Chicago, Greg, he started really hitting the ball very well. It didn't fall right now. I can remember him lining out a couple of times, and he was kind of, you could see he was very frustrated with it. But they started falling by the end of that road trip, and he is hot right now, no matter who's out there throwing.
And now the scouting report as Jordy Mercer is that steering wheel and turn left. So again, the pitching coach Derek Johnson out this time to talk about this rookie, Austin Meadows. He did not play last night. He's got 2 men in scoring position. Talk about baptism by fire for Austin Meadows. He has faced some of the tougher pitchers in all of baseball since he was called up. And those numbers he just showed you that Jeffers has had this year reflecting the type of season he's had. And one of the better setup man in the game. And Meadows, who's hit really since day one, since arriving in May the 18th, made his debut. Called upon to pinch hit. He takes a strike. Such a tough assignment for anybody, let alone a rookie. In the hole now, 0-2 is Meadows. He is 0 for 4 as a pinch hitter. And you see the defensive alignment. Second baseman out on the outfield grass, VR. Veteran against the rookie. Takes, and a tough one. Austin Meadows, bothered by that sore foot, found a ball off the foot the other day, and so he was not available last night. But he's pressed into duty here. With 2 in scoring position, the Pirates finally on the board. And another tough take, and Jeffers was walking off the mound, thought he had him at 99 miles an hour.
That one was close. You got to hold your breath on that pitch. It was off the plate, but just a smidgen. And at 99, I don't think you're going to catch up with that one anyway. It's in on your hands like that.
And he hangs in there, 97, slaps it foul.
You know, he's not hitting it foul down there because he can't catch up to that fastball. He just doesn't want to commit to a fastball and be way out in front in case he pulls a string, throws something else. So he has to, you know, be a little conservative right now, and he's going to be a little on the late side with that fastball. He just can't. He's in a hole. He's got 2 strikes on it.
And another foul. Still 2-2.
You know, if he was saying a 2-0 count or 3-1, he might say, all right, I'm gonna sell out to a fastball here, and even though he's throwing hard, I'm going out after it early, and you can catch up to that 97. But it is much more difficult when you get 2 strikes on you, and especially when the tying runs out at second base.
Finally gets him.
Yeah, they went with the off-speed pitch.
The Pirates get 1 and trail by a couple.
Chevy Silverado and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
3-1 ball game, head to the 8th. On the UPMC scoreboard, Jordy Mercer's double drives in the only run. Pirates within 2 now. And here is Edgar Santana, the rookie.
Santana's pitched very well. He's kind of waiting right now for everybody to get into the shift position.
Eric Thames.
Nobody at third. Nobody really at even at short.
No. Couple of strikes on Thames, who was 0 for 3 against the starter Tyone. Tyone's on the hook. He gave up 3. A 2-run homer by Jesus Aguilar in the first, and an Aguilar double in the third. There's that shift. Colin Moran.
And it was like
short.
that with
a
0-0 count. They didn't move into that on 0-2. The reason I bring that up is because if he wanted to, he could have just squared around early, bunted the ball firm on the left side, just like he was bunting somebody over, and then jog down to first base to start an inning off in a 2-run ball game with a runner on base and no one out. But he did not choose to do that. You know, people have asked me, especially lately, about the shift and, you know, should it be made illegal and stuff like that. And the hitters can make it obsolete if they want. How can you not get an easy single with a setup like that?
Why in the world do you have to have these artificial means when I'm agreeing with you. Like the fact that they're even talking about outlawing shifting now because the players can't do it themselves, so now we'll institute some rule.
That right there is an absolute picture perfect example of what I was talking about. There's nobody on the left side. You could drive 3 school buses through there.
Yeah.
But
pushed it hard, he has a double.
Now if Thames comes up and there's 2 outs, nobody on, I don't want to see him bunting.
Right.
That's when he needs to try and hit the ball in the river. But here it's a 2-run ball game. You know, they start an inning with a runner at first base, nobody out. That's a big plus for the Brewers. Why wouldn't he do that?
0-2 on Hernan Perez.
And that takes, you know, even if you look like you might bunt, just faked it once. At least you bring Colin in from playing out in left center, bring him into the play over here at third base, which would be a plus. Get him out of the defense a little. They would still be shifted, but not as extreme.
Hugs the line foul.
But the Pirates, they're going to put on that extreme shift because they know nobody will take advantage of them to start off an inning with a base runner. You don't have to be cute. You don't have to try and like drag bunt, anything like that. Just go ahead. As soon as the pitcher brings that arm up to throw home, you square around and you butt it real nice and hard right by the left side, and there's nobody there that can throw you out.
Santana strikes out the too many faces. See what he does with VR. Saturday, Bucks D-backs 4:05 game here at PNC Park. First 20,000 fans will get a Sean Rodriguez walk-off bobblehead thanks to Central Blood Bank. Before the game, it's the Jim Beam Block Party on Federal Street, which features live music, food trucks. Plus, former Pirates lefty John Candelaria will be signing autographs. Go to pirates.com/bobbleheads for tickets this Saturday afternoon. 4:05 first pitch. And the first pitch to VR is a strike called, much to VR's dismay. There's Sean Rod. Walk-off home run against Atlanta, or against it was not Atlanta. He came from Atlanta. San Diego. Bounce to Harrison. The Pirates have 2 more shots. 1, 2, 3 for Santana. Head to the bottom of the 8th. Down 2.
Stephen Brault was our guest. Stephanie Arrigo asked the Pirates pitcher, what is your favorite Pittsburgh neighborhood?
My favorite Pittsburgh neighborhood is Lawrenceville. I'm a really big fan. I live near there, and just in general, all the cool little hipster cafes, cool little, hipster bars. I love all that. I love that scene.
And of course, that fits Stephen Brault perfectly. And Pete Tomar, director in the truck, of course, is a big fan of the Lawrenceville neighborhood. And Greg and Bob, I'm sure 2 hipsters like yourself. Growing the beards, got the thick double frame glasses going pretty soon. I'm sure we'll see you at a cafe nearby, right?
Well, if we get invited by Mr. Toma.
Where's Lawrenceville?
It's where all the hipsters are. Well, here's Josh Harrison. 1 ball, 1 strike, 0 for 3 so far, and he faces Jeremy Jeffers. Domingo Santana is now in the game in right. Harrison, Dickerson, Marte. And they shift VR over on the left side against Jay Hay. Looking for his first hit of the night. Freddie Peralta, 6 shutout innings, 2 hits. There's Santana now in right for Eric Thames.
Got that good fastball.
And Harrison down on strikes. Rough night for him, 0 for 4. Jeffers struck out Meadows after an extended at bat following the Mercer double. Dickerson skips out of the way. Jay Hay, a couple of strikeouts, 0 for 4, though been a frustrating night for most of the Pirates, as they trail by a pair.
Still got 5 outs.
And Dickerson pops it up. 1 out. One out remaining in this inning for the Pirates. 2 outs in the 8th. And 4 outs left for the Pirates to get 2 runs. Jeremy Jeffers, the Brewers drafted him in the 1st round back in 2006. They traded him to the Royals, part of that Zach Greinke deal. Then they signed him as a free agent in 2014. That ball's hammered towards center. Back toward the wall. And Marte gets the Bucks to within 1. His 9th. Starling Marte hammers it. 3-2.
Likes those fastballs. 95 miles an hour didn't bother him at all.
Got a good sound to it. Allegheny Health Network Super Bowl, a good look at Marte's 9th home run, and now it's a 1-run ball game. And an attempted catch. Another look.
There's that sound you were talking about. That was a good sound. Hear an echo.
First pitch strike to Colin Moran. He's hit the ball hard to center and to right center all night. And actually recently, this past week, it's kind of been Marte's game plan. Not easy to do what the Pirates have done already here against Jeremy Jeffers. Just the 2nd home run he's allowed this season. Last time anybody scored a run off him was May 30th. Cardinals scored 1. And Colin Moran goes down on strikes to end the 8th, but Starling Marte's home run gets the Pirates to within 1. 3-0 in 6 career starts against the Brewers, an ERA of 1.91. And now Kyle Crick had a good, strong 1-2-3 performance last night in the 8th inning. Tries to keep this a 1-run deficit.
Yeah, he really looked good last night. That command of that plus stuff was there, and when that happens, he didn't get much up.
Manny Pena has 2 hits, a triple in the 2nd off of Tyone and a single in the 6th inning off Tyler Glasnow.
The Pirates can bring some power arms at you,
yeah,
coming out of that bullpen.
Pena, Arcia, pinch hitter, due up here in the 9th. And the closer for the Brewers getting ready, Corey Knebel. Ryan Braun going to be pinch hitting momentarily. Mercer. 1 out.
Shortstop, Orlando Arcia.
Arcia had his base hit in the 4th off of Tyone. Tyone went 5, gave up 3 runs, 6 hits, a 2-run homer by Jesus Aguilar. An Aguilar double in the 3rd.
Crick's got that slider down tonight. Putting that one right where he wants to. Time to bounce the fastball. See if he goes back to the slider here. No.
Whoa.
God.
All kinds of yelling there.
So much yelling, I thought Yelich was hit. Look out.
Oh, maybe the bench barking? I don't know. Arcia was getting ready to get one in the ribs. Here's some barking going on. Mainly fans. Whoops. 3-1.
That wouldn't be so funny if you were standing there.
No, that's hilarious from that vantage point.
Got the netting in front of you. The only thing that's in danger over there is a beer.
Umpires kind of letting things go. No need to do anything. Got everything under control. No intent, obviously. Couple fastballs getting away from Crick. That's lined to center. Marte over. Makes the catch. Speaking of umpires, as Ryan Braun is going to be announced as the pinch hitter, and he'll hear it as he always does from Pittsburgh crowd. One of your favorites passed away today, Dutch Rennert, the age of 82. The National League umpire from 1974 to 1992. Distinctive call, that demonstrative call. He was a classic, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, he definitely was. Not a real good pitcher's umpire, I never thought. I didn't care to have him behind the plate when I was out on the mound, but he was a great guy to watch. Just a real character, and I mean, he would have fit right into the, what was that movie, Naked Gun?
Yeah, well, I think the Naked Gun, Leslie Nielsen was probably inspired by.
I would imagine.
Dutch Rennert. We saw Larry Vanover, the crew chief.
I mean, that strike call we were saying there, that was just strike one.
Right.
When it was a strike three, there was a lot more to it than that. He could really get it going.
I was kind of thinking about Rennert when you see David Rackley turn and point kind of quietly, un-Rennert-like. But Rennert would turn, as you saw on that video, and drop down to a knee. 2-0 on Braun, 2 outs in the 9th. And of course, his dad, Harry Wendelstedt, worked with Dutch Rennert.
Alongside him.
Yeah, that's Hunter. His dad was a longtime umpire. And you can see that patch that they wear. We've talked about it before. 2 umpires that passed away over the winter. 2-2. Doug Harvey and Bob Engel. And the umpires paid tribute. And no doubt will be adding the letters DR. Dutch Rennert. 2-2. A little tapper. And that'll do it. Good work from Crick. And one more shot. Can the Pirates get to Corey Knebel? Down 1. Pirates have had to work for their 2 runs. They're within 1. The Renegades of the Rotunda fired up, trying to get the Pirates at least 1 here in the bottom of the 9th. And Francisco Cervelli will lead things off against the closer Corey Knebel.
Knebel's numbers on the season, one of the tough ones. He was hurt for a while. Hamstring, right?
Yeah, Pirates in fact didn't see him when they were in Milwaukee in May. Knebel gave up a home run to Odubel Herrera of the Phillies on Sunday. He's blown 2 saves this season. And the first pitch, strike call. Way outside.
I mean, you can live with that when it's strike 1. When it's strike 3, that's when it's like, hey, come on. 1's not good. I'm not saying that strike 1 is good, but remember that one to Dickerson was kind of the same type pitch, but maybe even further off the plate, and that was a strike 3 call.
now 1-2. Knebel has given up at least 1 run in 6 of 16 appearances. He allowed runs in 6 of 43 appearances prior to the All-Star break last year, when his earned run average was 170. And you saw his current ERA of 4.30. Blew a save opening day, and his other blown save was the 25th of May against the Mets. 2-2. Josh Bell to follow. Cervelli is 1 for 2 against Knebel. Bell 1 for 7. Whoops. 1 away. Upstairs heat. One down. Josh Bell, Buckaroo endorsed. I got the fever, and the only prescription is more Josh Bell, not cowbell, Josh Bell. Well, he is overdue.
Need a bell.
Josh Bell's last home run last month, May 31st.
Nothing that'll sound like a cowbell when he gets his hit. I bet your Blast can have some. He's got some noisemakers.
Yeah, he does. Oh, and 2. Rally caps. Rally cups.
I've never seen the cup on the head. I mean, that might work.
In the air the other way.
It's in the seats.
Yelich went in there hard. He's checking to see what got any beverages or anything there for him.
Where'd that ball go? Caught that in his hat.
Well done. One and 2. Bell really battled in his at bat in the 7th inning. Christian Yelich, she said, "Hey, get off me."
It's like, I didn't do anything.
And that's just foul. Bell had an 11 pitch at bat last inning against Dan Jennings and drew a walk. Brewers fan gets the ball from the Brewers first baseman Jesus Aguilar.
Lucroy. It's an old jersey.
Jonathan Lucroy, longtime Milwaukee catcher, now with Oakland. Two and 2.
Another long at bat for Bell.
Last time the Pirates faced Knebel was September of last year. And that's lifted toward left. And Yelich. So now it's up to Gregory Polanco. But last September 20th, last time that Knebel faced the Pirates here at PNC Park, Adam Frazier had a 2-run walk-off home run against him. Polanco had a strong at bat last time up. Takes a ball. Come on, Buccos. Polanco 3 for 9 in his previous matchups against Knebel. Two and nothing. He's trying to save it for Freddie Peralta, the 22-year-old. 3-0.
Seems to be a little leery of Polanco. 2-0 breaking ball. Swept the plate, missed kind of far inside. 3-0 breaking ball. He is a little leery of Polanco.
Well, then you have to expect another breaking ball, right?
Yeah, but he might be thinking, you know what? He's expecting another breaking ball. Now I can throw him a fastball. That's the game right there.
So what should Polanco be thinking here?
He should be thinking, you know, he thinks I'm looking for a breaking ball, so he might throw me a fastball.
Another breaking ball, and he's aboard for Jordy Mercer.
And if it's not a strike, it doesn't matter what anybody's thinking.
So still hope.
Yeah, a little more hope now.
You tell him. You tell him.
Tying run aboard.
Let's go.
He's yelling, keep turning left.
Yeah. Jordy Mercer is 2 for 7 in the past against Knebel. David Freese comes out on deck. 2 outs. 9th inning. Down a run. Jordy Mercer's double in the 7th with 2 outs. Brought in Bell. Got the Bucks on the board. Concerned that Polanco might be running. Down the middle.
Was that Polanco that got called out last night? Where he got blocked off second base.
Yeah.
Was
it Sogard by then or no?
VR, I don't care. Somebody's foot. Somebody had their foot in front of the base and blocked his foot from making contact, and they sent it to New York. And
no, that was VR. Yeah.
They spied it.
Yep.
Called him out.
Again. One ball, one strike on Mercer. Corey Knebel trying to earn his 7th save. Way outside, that's where they wanted it, 2-1.
I mean,
that's where Pena set up.
What was that all about?
I don't know.
Are you just going to walk him? Put the tying run at second? That was amazing.
Pena set up well off the plate.
Way outside.
That's where the pitch was. I think they're convinced that Polanco's taking off. And time is called.
Well, just call a pitch out then.
Don't see those much anymore for whatever reason, but I think that's kind of what that was.
That was the catcher calling his own pitch out?
Yeah. 2-2 again. Right there at 97. Knebel facing Mercer with 2 outs and a runner at first base. Pirates have won 3 of the first 4 meetings of the year against the Brewers. Pirates won 7 of the 10 games played here last year against Milwaukee. And Knebel gets him, gets the save, and the Brewers even the series.
Well, those were a tough couple of runs to give up early in this ball game. Those swinging bunt type infield hits, but they're all part of the game too. But man, they're the difference tonight. Taillon pitched very well, had the strikeout pitch going, the bullpen flawless. But in the end, it's the Brewers coming away with the W, and we'll have to go to the rubber match tomorrow.
So Freddie Peralta, the 22-year-old, picks up his 2nd win in 3 starts. And the Pirates fall to the Brew Crew as Jesus Aguilar drives in all 3 runs. Lorenzo Cain's 2 infield singles set the stage for Aguilar and the Brewers. And we'll send it back out to Rob and Michael.
Greg and Bob, thanks very much. And unfortunately, the guys summed up the game pretty well. Bob Prince used to call him a bloop and a blast. Right? In this case, a couple dribblers and a couple blasts, and that was it, behind the really, really outstanding work of Freddie Peralta.
Yeah, Peralta was outstanding, and Team Aguilar, 3 runs. He was part of all of them tonight. He was outstanding against Taillon. Nobody else really hit Taillon very hard, but Peralta was outstanding, throwing that 4-seamer almost 75% of the time tonight with great spin, staying behind the baseball. He's obviously got a ton of deception. These guys look like they couldn't figure him out all game. Only 3 changeups. The only other outspeed pitch he threw was that breaking ball, which was pretty good. But that fastball just had people baffled all day long.
The Pirates slipped to 7 games behind the Brewers where they started this series. Still a chance to win the series, pick up a game, and continue rolling on this 10-game homestand with a victory tomorrow. We're going to be talking about that game, but of course, plenty to talk about with tonight's game. A really strong performance in the Pirates bullpen. One guy in particular we're going to be highlighting who's been pitching even better than you might think as of late. You're going to hear from manager Clint Hurdle. We have highlights from this one as well as the Milwaukee Brewers defeat the Pittsburgh Pirates by the final score of 3-2. That's coming up next on Pirates Postgame presented by the Allegheny Health Network.